Hello, and welcome to Candidates Upfront, a public interest election program of Berks Community Television and the League of Women Voters of Berks County. Our November 7th general election is coming up. Citizens who are 18 or older will vote for judges, school directors, and township, borough, and city officials. The deadline to register to vote is October 23rd. To check your voting status, go to vote.pa.gov. That's vote.pa.gov. You can register, change your party, locate your polling place, or apply for an absentee or mail-in ballot. And the deadline to apply for those is October 31st. If you are looking for information on statewide, school, or township races or borough officials, please use the League's online voters guide, vote411.org. That's vote411.org. And for information on countywide and Reading candidates, please stay tuned. The League interviewed candidates in contested races, those who wanted to be interviewed, and for each race, the candidates got the same basic questions and had the same amount of time to answer them. For the League, I'm Judith Cranus, and let's begin.
Hello, I'm Bill Litvin, a member of the League of Women Voters of Berks County. The featured office today is Reading City Council. Council members act on legislation, set the budget, and confirm appointments of the city manager and members of boards. They need to have lived in their district 1 year prior to the primary election and must retain residency in their district. They serve part-time for a 4-year term. The salary is $5,000. District 5 is in Northwest Reading. There are 2 candidates, Democrat Rafael Nunez and Independent Sheila Perez. Each candidate's views are their own and not those of the League or BCTV. Today our candidate is Sheila Perez. Welcome.
Hola.
Sheila, please tell our viewers about yourself and why you are running.
Well, I've been living in the city of Reading for over 30 years, and over the past 22 plus years, I've been very involved in local government issues, persistently attending city council meetings, public hearings, and through the work and the organizations of We the People citizens have been successful in placing 2-term limits on the ballot in May of 2019. And in addition to that, we are currently working on a toxic trespass citizens initiative, which holds companies liable for environmental emissions into the air. I'm passionate, I'm dedicated, I love my people, I go door to door, I enjoy it, and I enjoy the multicultural nationalities that live in the city of Reading. That's what really attracts me to the city.
What personal qualities do you have that will help you be an effective council member?
Well, I've been fighting for justice for many, many years. Growing up, I'm first generation Puerto Rican born here. Growing up, my parents didn't know any English, so I actually served as an interpreter. And seeing all the issues my parents and other immigrants have had when they came here, it just developed into the type of person that I am today, always fighting for what's right.
Okay. Do you think, going to the city then, do you think Penn Street is healthy and successful? If not, what would you change to make it more healthy and more successful?
Well, there's a lot. Penn Street has a lot that can be done to it. If you go over the bridge, over to Penn Avenue, you have a vibrant downtown on Main Street just over the bridge. A lot of the barriers, the red tape, that zoning impedes the businesses to be able to function here. In addition, the meters don't help. It keeps the foot traffic away. I'm for getting rid of all the meters, giving people the 3-hour limit to be able to walk the downtown and not have to worry persistently about having the parking authority on their backs, rushing them in and out of stores, which really hurts our economy.
Okay, what do you see as the biggest issues that will face Reading in the next 4 years?
I see the biggest issues is the barriers, the lack of attracting businesses and making them more viable in our current economy and state. It's going to be a struggle to be able to do that. In addition to that is addressing the issues with the properties that are blighted, bringing them up to par, and working with the current property owners, not removing them from those owners because they're paying taxes on those properties right now. And with 40%, almost 40% nonprofit parcel status, 60% of the parcels are paying property. So the 60% is carrying the weight of all the nonprofits that aren't paying taxes. So we need to find ways not to penalize the blighted property owners, but to work with them, develop programs that'll be feasible and create win-win situations for everybody.
Okay. Some in our community say Reading has traffic problems and parking problems. How would you mitigate those concerns or change the situation? You kind of talked about that already a little bit, but...
Well, first of all, I want to thank the mayor for the streets. I took a ride down Spring Street the other day in the Northwest area, and I felt like a VIP. At first, I thought that the roads were being kept that way to control traffic so people aren't speeding up and down the road. But these are issues that are heavily affecting, especially the parking, We can work with that. After 10 o'clock and before 7 o'clock, there isn't as much traffic. So people should be allowed to be able to park in areas where normally they wouldn't park during the day, and addressing and looking at where yellow lines are that they shouldn't be, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Just working to try to find a place where we can mitigate those circumstances, especially in the Northwest area.
Okay. What are the most important concerns of the people of your district as you've gone door to door and talked to them?
Parking, number one.
Okay.
Lighting, street safety. I mean, at nighttime in our area, in the Northwest area, it's dim to little lighting, street lighting. So if there are yellow lines, you can't even see them at nighttime. So not until the morning will you, when you get your ticket and you get up and go to your car, do you realize that you were actually parked in a yellow line. So in addition to that, our businesses are speaking to me, business owners are speaking to me how zoning is making it impossible for them to, how shall I say, bring in new ideas into their businesses, you know, to upgrade their economy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So removing those barriers, parking, lighting, and creating youth activities for the youth at all the parks.
Okay. How do you plan to involve residents in the decision-making process?
I've already been going door to door. Education is key, outreach and education. We have a huge Afro-Latino Hispanic community that has no idea what our home rule charter is, how local government works, only vote for the President of the United States, expecting to impact local change. So they've already given up on that. Through outreach and education in English and in Spanish, it's our hope that we would be able to create passion, because education creates passion, and passion is what drives change. So,
okay. When council is approving a mayoral appointment, what criteria will you consider? Mayoral
appointments are very important. More importantly is the knowledge base of the candidate that's coming in regarding our local issues. People that have been passionate participating and actually give input and attend the council meetings and the public hearings. Those are major in our appointments. And looking for their involvement in our local government issues, making sure that that individual actually has lived in the city of Reading and is still living there, and not outside of the area.
Okay. Now, you already talked about blighted properties. Some would say that blighted properties should be fixed, redeveloped, or repurposed. How would you address the issue of blighted properties in the city?
Well, everyone has a dream, right? And not just nonprofit developers. You have your small person who is trying to develop their property, the one that they purchased, but they may be stuck. They may have invested thousands of dollars, and they just can't. They just need maybe a small loan, $10,000, $12,000, $20,000, $25,000, to be able to take it to the end. But these blighted property owners, they are no different than the nonprofit developers. Rather than take it away from them, let's develop a program that's feasible and fair to everyone who has a dream. Everyone has a dream, and America is the state where dreams are made possible. So let's do what we can to create win-wins for both the blighted property owners that are nonprofits, that are private, as well as the nonprofit developers.
Okay. Now, most of the time, Reading is a safe place to work, live, and visit. Yet violence related to drugs, gangs, and disagreements hurts our neighborhoods and our reputation. What can the city do to thwart this violence?
Okay, first of all, youth involvement is really very important, and starting at a young age, it's great to be able to begin to involve them. The Youth Commission, I envisioned the Youth Commission to include the students from the Reading School District, of course, and I envisioned the students voting for them rather than being appointed by City Council. So that would serve as a way that we can educate our students on how the voting process works and involve them, with the hope that their parents would then also get involved. Additionally, second chances for offenders, criminal offenders, is really hurting our economy. When we don't offer a second chance to these individuals, their sustenance is very limited. So, right now, Forward Thinking Communities is a company that has Project Mindset, and out of 100 individuals that they went through Project Mindset, 87 are still working on that second chances program. So it does work. We just need to find ways to make it work.
Okay, we're kind of focusing on it then. Mm-hmm. Now, budget decisions are hard. Makes sense. Sometimes the services that people enjoy, like parks and libraries, are underfunded, so that things that people need, like police or street repair, can be properly funded. How will you prioritize spending when you vote on the budget?
Well, budget decisions are always difficult. Robbing from Peter to pay Paul, it becomes very difficult. However, one of the issues that are truly affecting is the mismanagement and the missing funds that go unaccounted for. When funds go missing, when things are mismanaged, it costs us more. The programs cost us more. So by creating forensic audits of those programs and holding people accountable will help us to save money on that aspect, which would allow us, God willing, to address the budget issues accordingly, like you spoke to here.
Okay. What is the one thing you hope to accomplish if elected?
The one thing I hope to accomplish would be, of course, the forensic audits of the authorities, holding people accountable. And, it's my hope and desire to be able to find ways to be able to dissolve the authorities and bring everything back under the control of the city government. That by dissolving the authorities, in no way, shape, or form am I meaning that the employees are going to be axed. No, we want to bring everything back because over the past, since 2017, RAWA, over 20 years through the Baker Tilly audit, they discovered that we were overcharged for capital expenditures by over $83 million. Now, that's money that we probably will never see back. And then in addition to that, the parking authority, the 2017-2018 parking event revenues were stolen. There was $0 reported, and no one's done anything about it. So it's my hope to be able to convince City Council, because I'm only one person, right?
Sure.
And I can't make any promises that I can't keep. There's 7 votes. However, I will work diligently to introduce legislation, amend legislation, or have legislation repealed with my colleagues to be able to form a better Reading.
Okay, I'm going to combine 2 of the questions.
Okay.
What are your ideas to make Reading an attractive place for families and for businesses?
For families, I think it is very attractive right now in terms of you see the activities going on. Right now, the Puerto Rican parade that was supposed to take place on Sunday has been, because of the rain, has been postponed till October. Businesses more attractive, comparing the zoning barriers or the zoning laws to places where it's more vibrant, and seeing what we can, the legislations or the laws that we can have removed or amended so that businesses that are looking to be established can have an easier access to what they need, variances, etc., to be able to conduct whatever visions and complete their dreams.
Okay. Are you active in any volunteer organizations? Please share what you do in your non-working time.
Well, I'm the secretary of the Puerto Rican Civic Association. It is our goal to be able to do outreach and education. We do a lot of fundraising. We do a lot of education while we're in there. In addition to that, I am a member of St. Peter's Choir. So it's very important to me to be able to have that spiritual awareness, because it plays into the advocacy role that we have. I can't really think right now off the top of my head. Oh, I'm also a member of We the People Citizens, Berks County, Pennsylvania, passionately involved in citizens initiatives and making things work.
Okay, very good. Okay, we have time for your closing statement. If you want to take a couple minutes, feel free to go ahead.
Well, over the past 20 plus years, I've been very passionate with my colleagues in working to help resolve, give input to various ordinances or resolutions that are being considered in order to positively impact change. It's ludicrous to me why blighted properties are being charged for services like trash and recycling when they've never received those services. In addition to that, why rental inspections are being done on properties that are not rental properties. I don't understand also the connection charges for our surcharges for RAWA are more expensive than any other municipality here. So our surcharge connections are more than our actual usage. It is our goal to be able to research these issues and make it more conducive to what the state is. Remember, Reading is the #3 poorest city in the state of Pennsylvania out of 10. And we need to work with that. The alarming rate at which cars are being towed because of lack of parking issues is detrimentally financially affecting our families. The idea that we have to pay for a ticket before we go in front of a hearing. Once you pay for a ticket in the state of Pennsylvania, you're essentially telling them that you're guilty. We need to do away with this in order to be able to function cohesively amongst each other. It's not fair to the citizens of Reading that we're being used as the money pit for the finances, to finance the authorities when through excessive fees, when we can find ways to be able to address these concerns without having all of these processes and procedures detrimentally affect our constituency, which is the tax base that we need in this city.
Okay, well,
Okay.
thank you very much, Sheila Perez, for sharing your views with us.
Thank you for having me.
And viewers, please remember there is another candidate for City Council District 5 on the ballot. That is Rafael Nunez. You may vote for one. You can find candidates' upfront interviews on BCTV and its website and YouTube page. For more information on more candidates, go to the League's online voters guide, vote411.org. That's vote411.org. Or contact Berks County Election Services, elections@countyofberks.com or 610-478-6490. Thank you for watching Candidates Up Front. I'm Bill Litvin. Good day.